lines, sorting through the media bias, exposing the propaganda, and challenging you to use your brain. It's time to tap into the truth.
Yes, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. It is indeed time to tap into the truth. Coming to you live, as always, from historic Roane County, Tennessee. This is Tim Tapp. Tonight we're going to be talking about Benghazi. The quest for truth continues. Translation: even though we are just a little bit closer to knowing a little bit more officially on the record than what we knew before, we still have an awful lot of room for people to question, doubt, and try to poo-poo on any notion that there is anything real about what's going on. Truthfully, the Democrats, unfortunately, did nothing but try to protect their beloved Hillary and, to a lesser extent, Barack Hussein Obama, the occupier. In the process of doing this, they tried to discredit these three outstanding men who have made a career out of serving this country in a diplomatic manner. These people were put in harm's way. These people have been in harm's way before, and unlike our military, are not with the benefit of military training. It is sad, it is tragic, and it is absolutely infuriating that we see time and time again as these Democrats absolutely tried to simply discredit what these men had to say, countered, rebutted, refuted, but then still made no attempt and no anything, really. I mean, no attempt to try and explain what did happen. At some point, we have to realize that the idea of these hearings is specifically to get at the truth. We know there has been a cover-up at this point. What we want to know now is to what extent this cover-up happened and what the true purpose of this cover-up is. Now, I've expressed my belief in the past on this show and on others where I've either also been hosting or have been a guest, that I have every belief based on what I've seen and based on what I've heard from certain people that this is a cover-up of the highest order in an attempt to try and prevent everyone from finding out that we were in fact, we being the U.S. government in this case, that we were in fact involved with hiding different weapon sources, that we were in fact arming Al-Qaeda to go fight in Syria. Now, can anyone please tell me why we would be arming Al-Qaeda? Doesn't make a lot of sense since we've been fighting a war against them for, I don't know how long now? Ever since we went into Afghanistan, where we were upset with the Taliban there for providing operational assistance to Al-Qaeda. It is completely unjustified to believe for a second that this occupier in the White House and this Secretary of State are not in collusion in an attempt to keep the truth away from the American people. And they have the unmitigated gall to believe that if they stall long enough, that eventually there'll be enough of the low information folks out there that'll buy what little bit of crap they're being told and eventually say, can we stop talking about this now? Can we please move on? No. Ladies and gentlemen, as patriots, we must continue to fight the good fight. We must continue to hold these people's feet to the fire, and we need real answers. Was this about image? controlling spin as we were going into an election? Is this about hiding the truth about how much we've been involved already in the Syrian, quote, civil war, which involves a whole lot of folks that are being called to jihad and are coming from foreign nations, from Europe, from all over Africa? We know this is going on because the Benghazi consulate was set up for the purpose of helping to arm al-Qaeda. We know this because of the leaked memos and the leaked emails. Yet, officially, on the record, we can't seem to get any kind of answer from the people who are responsible, including the people responsible. It goes without saying that there were several pivotal moments during the course of the hearings. I've got some sound bites from them, and I'm going to go ahead and play for your benefit. It's about 11 and a half minutes, but it's the opening statements that all three of the folks who testified made during the course of testimony. I want you to pay special attention to the second speaker, Mr. Hicks. But it's important to hear all three men. The first one's a little dry, not a lot of impact, but he does a good job of explaining of who he is and why he's there. And this is important for everyone to understand. Let's take a listen.
Statements, and they're unusually short. So I'm not worried about the 5 minutes, but we are here to hear from you. So take the time you need to tell your story. We will listen, and the ordinary time is 5 minutes. You take a little less, you take a little more. This hearing is about hearing from you on your experience. Mr. Thompson.
Mr. Chairman, Ranking Member, members of the committee.
And please pull your microphone a little closer. Thank you.
Thank you for this opportunity to tell a story. As the chairman indicated, I came to the department 16 and a half years ago as a Marine, transitioned, and have been on the activities that he has already described. The night that I was involved in this incident, I was at my desk at the end of the day when the first reports came in that indicated that we had an attack going on at our diplomatic facility in Benghazi. In that facility, we knew we had our ambassador and we had his security personnel. Later, when I heard that the situation had evolved to them going to a safe haven, and then the fact that we could not find the ambassador, I alerted my leadership, indicating that we needed to go forward and consider the deployment of the Foreign Emergency Support Team. That particular team is an interagency team. It's been represented as something that the State Department deploys. It does not. The Deputies Committee of the National Security Council deploys that organization. But I wanted that considered. I notified the White House of my idea. They indicated that meetings had already taken place that evening that had taken FEST out of the menu of options. I called the office within the State Department that had been represented there, asking them why it had been taken off the table, and was told that it was not the right time and it was not the team that needed to go right then. Let me explain the team a little more. It is comprised of the leadership from my office. It is comprised of professionals from Special Operations Command, from Diplomatic Security, from the intelligence community, from FBI. It is a holistic, comprehensive organization that is designed to go forward to embassies, just as we did, as indicated in 1998 in East Africa, as we've done in the other places indicated, USS Cole and other hostage situations. It is designed to be the glue and the connective tissue that gets all the options on the table for the decision makers. Decision makers in my line of work are the chief of mission and the authorities back here in Washington that make the decisions of where we send people into harm's way. It doesn't mean it has a irreversibility to it. The other thing that I pointed out was that with the tyranny of distance, at least 8 or 9 hours to get to the middle of the Mediterranean, we needed to act now and not wait. There's sometimes the hesitancy to not deploy because we don't know what's going on. One definition of a crisis is you don't know what's going to happen in 2 hours, so you need to help develop that situation early. We have a robust comm suite on the airplane that we